Hey there, everybody. How are you? This is Dr. Avis. I just wanted to come in here real quick tonight, and I'm going to wait for people to come in because I have a big thank you that I owe a lot of people, literally hundreds of you, who reached out to me after learning of the passing of my brother in law. I do want to say a little bit about that, but I also, well, a lot about that. That's the main reason why I'm going live tonight. But in addition to that, I do want to talk a little bit about how grateful I am for each and every one of you, and also how grateful that I am that I've built a lifestyle for myself that has allowed me to be where I need to be when things like this happen, and that is with family. And the world does not, my world does not come to a screeching halt. I do not have to risk my job in order to, leave and take and be with my family in moments like this. And so I'm sharing all this, and I'll talk about this more in a minute because I think it's very important that you understand how important it is for you to be able to prioritize, to be in a position, to be able to put yourself in a position where you can prioritize those things that are most important to you in your life and build that into how you live your life every day instead of having your life be dictated by other people's priorities, meaning, the person that's signing the check, right? If you have the power to develop your business in a way that allows you to do this and to be free when moments like this happen, unfortunately, or for happy times or anything else, right? That to me is the most beautiful thing that entrepreneurship gives. It gives you freedom. I mean, that's the bottom line. So with that said, hey there, Martin, I appreciate it is a blessing. Absolutely. So that now that more of you are here, I just wanted to say a little bit of something. I don't think I announced this on LinkedIn, but I did announce this on Facebook, and nearly 500 of you responded. Last week, I lost my brother-in-law. He was a tremendous human being, such a kind soul, a caring soul. And he was obviously the husband to my sister and the father to my niece. And he's only a young gentleman. He was only 3 years older than me. So it's tragic, obviously, when you lose anyone that you love and that you know is a wonderful human being. But to me, it's even more tragic when you feel like they're gone too soon, right? And so it was a sad moment for myself and my family, and I've been a little bit out of the loop here for the past week as I've spent time with my family during this time. I do want to take a minute, though, to thank all of you who took the time to reach out to me, either personally via text or responding to my post or DMing me, or various ways in which people reached out to me to send their condolences to me and my family at this time. I needed to come on here to say thank you to each and every one of you. A special thank you to my clients who went out of their way to develop a beautiful virtual card that they sent me that included messages, personal messages from them, as well as even one video message. And I just appreciate so much that you went out of your way to create that and to relay your personal condolences to me and my family at this time. It was truly special, truly, truly appreciated. You don't know how much that meant to us. So thank you so much for what you have done and the love that you have sent our way. Um, I do want to talk a little bit though about the privilege that I have to be able to take this time away, right? To be able to, at a drop of the hat, change my plans and stay with my family. Um, Interestingly, I had already made plans to go and visit my mother last weekend, which I did, right? So I drove down to visit her. She's in North Carolina. And I spent the weekend there. And the plan was to go back on Tuesday morning. That was the plan, to spend Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and come back Tuesday morning. That was the plan. However, Michael, who was my brother in law, passed on Monday, got the sad news that he passed Monday morning. And so I just extended my stay so that I could be there through the funeral, which was this past Friday. All right. So I'm giving you that level of detail because I know that it is a privilege that I have, that I am able to do that. I know that a lot of people are not able to do that. A lot of people don't have, flexibility in their jobs. They can't just take time off at the drop of a hat when they need to. It's not even like when you want to. I look at this as a need to. This is not like an impromptu vacation. Like, you need to be with your family in moments like this, right? And so it is so sad that so many of us are stuck in lifestyles where we do not have that level of freedom, right? The financial freedom to be able to stay longer than we had anticipated, right? The peace of mind and also financial freedom in terms of how, even if you do have a business, do you have your business set up in such a way so that you know that the trains will keep running on time if you're not there? You know, do you have that? Because that provides a level of freedom. And the beautiful thing is, with me, I could step back and spend that time with my family, having complete confidence that my team would be able to do everything that needed to be done to service our clients in excellence, as they always do. And that's exactly what they did. Right. And so I say all this to say that, you know, I think that oftentimes we are so caught up in life with a short term vision of what has to happen today to be able to make it through tomorrow and next week and next month, right? And maybe even next year. That sometimes that sort of short term, incremental sort of vision of what needs to get done sometimes gets in the way of us allowing ourselves the space to think bigger around how can I develop a lifestyle, if not tomorrow, turning it on, but at least starting that process that I need to start so that I can have that business that allows me freedom, so that I can have that team that understands what to do on a drop of a dime if for whatever reason I have to go away for a period of time, that I'm not the business is not going to suffer because I'm not there. Those are things that all of us, I don't care if you're, if you are working for someone else, you need to start look into the business realm. Like, how can I be able to bring in some other level of revenue for me, another stream of income, so that I'm not completely 100% dependent on this other thing, on this main thing that I have. So right now, such that if I had to make a hard decision and if people wanted to act crazy about that, I could walk away. Like, hello. And let me just say this, especially right now, the last thing you want to do is have your whole entire financial future in terms of the compensation that you receive be completely at somebody else's discretion. That is the last decision. That's the last place you want to be in this moment. You want to be able to create your own economy, period. And that's what those of us who have our own businesses do. We create our own economies so that this outer economy can be doing whatever the hell it wants to do, but we create our own, right? And in fact, I would argue that in moments like this, when some people are panicking, we're like thinking, oh my God, we really about to blow all the way up now. Okay. When you know how to leverage economies like this for the benefit of your business. And then on the other side, for those of you who are entrepreneurs, but you are, solopreneurs, right? You are doing all the things yourself. Think about it. Have you created golden handcuffs for yourself? God forbid, if something happened in your family, could you just drop everything and be there for them for a week, 2 weeks, a month, or more? It was a week this time, unfortunately, because of that untimely death. But for example, when my father fell ill, I was literally gone for weeks with him before he passed. Weeks. Okay. And what I want you to understand is that having that level of freedom is priceless. It's priceless. I talk a lot in my business around the how important it is to, be able to build a business of abundance, how important it is that you set high goals, that you hit that seven-figure ceiling and bust right through it. And all of that is important. But the main thing that all of that gives you when you do it the right way is freedom. And freedom is priceless. Freedom to be able to be with the people that you love when they need you most. Freedom. And so I just wanted to share that thought with you today because I'm grateful that I put in the work yesterday and for many, many, many yesterdays before that, that has allowed me to get to the place where I have this freedom. But I want you to know that if you do not have that freedom right now, you can have it in the days to come. But it starts with you making a different decision around, you know, where you are putting all of your time, energy, and attention so that you can make sure that you develop that freedom path for yourself. Right? Does that make sense? It requires you doing different things. Thank you, April. Thank you, LaShawn. Thank you, Clarine. Thank you so much. Absolutely, everybody. Exactly. Creating your own economy is power. You're exactly right, Clarine. So good to see you, girl, by the way. So, I have to say, all right. I love that. Stephanie says, I just want to highlight this because that makes me feel happy to hear that for you, Stephanie. Let's see. Oops. Where did I miss it? I missed it. There we go. She says, I really needed to hear this. My goal is to have my freedom path. Yes, honey, you can. And you can have your freedom path. What's that over there? Let me see if I can put the camera over here. Can y'all see that? Okay. Over there, right there. That figurine over there is Harriet Tubman, right? And I keep Harriet Tubman in here with me, not only because my thing is not working, I'm a little tilt here. Keep her in here with me. She's been my number one heroine ever since I was a child, right? But it's especially special to have her here with me now that I'm in Maryland and her home as well. But to me, that's what she represents. She represents somebody that was willing not only to fight for her own freedom, someone that was willing to fight for the freedom of others, both literally and figuratively, right? Now, I could tell you the whole history. I'm a big history buff, and particularly as it relates to her amazing history, it's a lot deeper than what most people know. Okay, she was the epitome of a badass in the most amazing way possible. But what she did was she fought for freedom, and the circumstances are different now, but you still have to fight for your freedom. Let me say that again. Obviously, the circumstances are much different now because of her efforts and the efforts of so many like her that came before and after her, right? And fought in different ways, right? To open up pathways to opportunity and freedom. But what I want you to understand is that freedom is always taken, it's never given. Please hear me when I say that. Freedom is taken, it is never given. And so if you are in a space right now where you don't have the freedom that I just spoke about, I want you to understand that no one's going to wake up one day and say, poof, I have bestowed it upon you. Don't work like that. It does not work like that. You have to take it. You have to be bold. You have to do things like my girl Harriet over there that may to other people seem a little dangerous. And maybe it is a little dangerous, but isn't it worth it? There are some things that are worth experiencing risk. There are some things that are worth experiencing danger, right? If on the other end of that risk, if on the other side of that danger is your freedom. And I have to say, I think that oftentimes we over exaggerate this notion of safety. Let me say that again. We get a false sense of security with this feeling of safety, don't we? I think a couple of weeks ago, there were unfortunately a whole lot of people that worked at Twitter that felt a little safe, that maybe aren't feeling that safety anymore. A few weeks before that, there were probably a whole lot of people that worked at Facebook that felt safe, not feeling that safe anymore. There were probably a whole lot of people that worked at Amazon, even the big mammoth Amazon, that felt safe, probably not feeling that safe anymore. I'm telling you that safety is an illusion. It is an illusion that gives you a false sense of security until the rug is ripped out from under you. There's nothing safe about that life. There's nothing safe about that life. And so, what I find interesting is that a lot of people delay, downplay, or completely reject the notion of entrepreneurship, even if they have it in their heart, because they feel like it's too risky. They feel like it's not safe. Hell, where you are ain't safe. If you ain't, it's not there. So here's what I'm saying. Here's the point that I'm making. Obviously, no matter what choices you make in life, no one can really tell the future, right? No one can say with 1,000% certainty that if I turn left, that everything will be fairy dust and sprinkles for the rest of my life. In fact, we all know that the rest of your life will not be fairy dust and sprinkles, no matter what choice that you make, right? There will always be ups and downs, no matter what your choices are. But let me ask you this question. If you're in the car on a road trip, are you the type of person who likes to drive? I know I do. I don't know. Maybe you're perfectly comfortable sitting over there in the passenger seat taking a nap. I'm not. I'm the type of person I like to drive. And I like to drive not necessarily because I love driving so much. I do enjoy driving, but that's a whole nother conversation. I like to drive, however, because at the end of the day, I like having my own destiny in my own hands. I like having control over the machinery that could end my life if something goes haywire. Do you hear what I'm saying? And that's what I see entrepreneurship as. It's a vehicle that I get to drive. It's a vehicle that I get to see and say where I want to go, at what velocity, when I want to slow down, when I want to speed up, how much I want to have at the end of the day, or where I want to go, right? It's a vehicle that goes in the direction of my choosing. That's why I love it so much. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because my future is not a rounding error in somebody else's spreadsheet. Do you hear what I'm saying? And in addition to that, and that's another form of freedom, right? In addition to that freedom, with regards to being able to be in control of your own destiny, you have the freedom to say, I need to make a pit stop here at this moment because my family needs me. That's freedom. You can do that without asking anybody's permission for some time off. That's freedom. That's freedom. You can do that without failing to get paid, particularly if you've built a team around you that continues to do the things that needs to get done in order to keep the money coming in. Hello, that's freedom. If you don't have that, obviously, you are in a much better position than Harriet was. Much better position. And I do not want to compare the two, but I do want you to know that you're not fully free if you don't have that. You are not fully free. You have an illusion You have measured, you have tempered freedom. Tempered freedom. You're free until somebody decides that you're not. So I just want to say, I want to do this, has inspired me to do a little something this week. And I just want to come on for a few minutes each night this week, maybe with the exception of Thanksgiving, but I might pop on for a couple of minutes in Thanksgiving. We'll see. Where I just really want to talk about how you can build this life of freedom, right? I want to just sort of give you a few nuggets about that every day. And it's different things if you are on your path towards starting this business, or you're just at the beginning of your business, than if you're more mature in your business, right? And you need to grow the team. But either way, you need all of that to be free. You need it to be free. And as I mentioned, moments like last week reminds me of how fortunate that I am that I have this freedom. But once again, that was freedom that I took, that I went out and got. It was not given to me. So if you want freedom like that, then you have to be that bold personality, that bold individual that will go against the grain, that will do what some people who are too afraid to do it might tell you is not wise, is not quote unquote safe, is too risky. Whatever objections they may have, because they are lulled into this false sense of security of living a lifestyle in bondage to other people's parameters around which they live their lives, or within which they live their lives. They think they're free, but they're not. They're not. And the sad thing is, by the time they realize it, they would have put themselves in a position where there's very little that they can do in order to address their immediate needs. Right? And then if you've all that time been working towards building your own freedom, it's kind of like the fairy tale that we all learned when we were little kids about the three little pigs, right? They're going to want to come to your brick house at that point. When their hay house has been blown down, when their stick house has been blown down because they were living in this false illusion of freedom in which they really didn't have decision-making power over their own lives, but they thought they did. If you have spent that time instead doing the hard things, making the hard choices, doing the things that they might deem risky, and in the process, you have now gotten to a position where you've built this brick house of freedom, guess where they'll come in their time of need? And that's okay, because you would be in a position to help. Somebody has to do something different to be able to help other people. Right? I mean, if everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's in the same boat, when the boat goes down, everybody's going down. Right? But if you've gone in a different direction and you've built the yacht, you have some place for people to go to. Hear what I'm saying? Well, I hope this has been helpful for you all tonight. Once again, I just want to say thank you to my incredible clients who went out of their way to provide me with just an amazing, and I will always keep it for years. I can imagine going back and reading those messages, the beautiful video card and electronic card that you provided me. I also want to thank all of my friends and family who reached out to me here on Facebook, on in my DMs, via text message, on my cell phone, in various different ways. I want to thank my team members who did the same. You know, all of you, I just want to say thank you. And let me also say, I want to thank my team members too for stepping up to the plate, just as operating excellence as you always do, but without an ounce of hesitation, so that I didn't have to worry about anything. From the moment I got the news, boom, you were in action. And so I definitely want to thank you for that as well. I oftentimes say I have the baddest team in the business. You guys don't know how deep that goes, like really what that means. It's yes, they're each excellent at what they do, but they are incredible people who show up fully, 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 in every situation, perceived and not. Many of you might recall, I'll just say this and then I'll stop. Last summer, when my mom was staying with me, I had to rush her to the hospital during a launch. Okay. During a launch. And like with only maybe about an hour's notice, Ty stepped right in and did that night's training, and I didn't have to worry about anything. I could spend that time in the emergency room with my mother and not have to worry about it. So, I want you guys to understand that's what it looks like to be surrounded in excellence. Every CEO needs that. You need that. There comes a time in the lifespan of your business as it begins to grow that it needs to get bigger than you. That would maximize not only your revenue generating potential, but it also gives you more freedom. So when things like this happen, you're not sabotaged. Your bank account is not undermined, right? The trains can keep running on time. All right. So with that said, I'm going to put on my glasses because y'all know I can't read nothing without my glasses. I know y'all are typing stuff in here and all I'm seeing is blurry, 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 blurry. Jesus Christ. But anyhow, great to see you all here. I just, you guys are incredible. You're an incredible group of people, and I'm so honored to have each and every one of you in my circle. I look forward to seeing you every night this week because I'm looking forward to just pouring into you a little bit more around tips on fermenting your freedom in the days ahead. And, as we are gearing up towards the end of the year, I think if one of your goals in 2023 is to build a life of freedom, then you really, really, really need to start thinking through, what does that mean? What does that look like? What do I need to have in place to make that happen? And so I look forward to sharing that with you each night this week as we move towards the Thanksgiving holiday. With that said, I hope y'all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I am happy to be back home. I'm glad that I had that wonderful time with family, but I am now ready to get back into the saddle, ready to serve my clients and to be here to interchange with you guys as we move towards the end of this year. I want you to end 2022 strong, and I want you to make 23 your best year ever. Do not get psyched out with all the talk around this economy. And maybe I should talk a little bit about that this week too. Now is the time to really blow all the way up. Okay. Do not be intimidated. Do not be scared. I made my first million in an economic downturn. Okay. This is not the time to start running for the exits. Now's the time to develop the strategy to take advantage of the opportunities that still exist. And in fact, the new opportunities that will arise because of everything that is happening right now. Trust and believe. This could be your gateway to millions. With that said, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Hey there, Wendy. How you doing? Nice to see you too. And I will see you all a little bit later. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.